got some questions on my motor stand, how I build it, how we operate it. Basically, I started with a little sketch.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. And
see that again. All right, cool.
I took a motor stand similar to this, but it was steel. Okay. And basically built a frame around it. So this is the motor stand. I used angle both directions to widen it so it's stable. We made the base long enough where I could build a tower. The tower is going to hold the oil tank and the gas tank. Both gravity feed the motor. So you got to be higher, of course, than the feed pump, the oil feed pump, and higher than the carburetor, the bowl in the carburetor. I mean, I got these, I think off eBay or something. It's just like a chopper oil tank, each one. The important part is to make all this sturdy. I welded everything together, the tower, and bolted these guys on. Nothing is rubber mounted. These are actually wooden blocks. I tried rubber bushings and the motor did this. I mean, it was bouncing all over the place. So that didn't work. You got a solid mount. Get a solid mount all this. And this is on a table, but preferably it should be anchored to the floor because it'll walk. The more you rev the motor, it starts to walk. It's no big deal, but if you don't want it to walk, you got to anchor it to the floor. I also made this so I could carry it.
Oh.
I put handles on each end, and I could take it to a swap meet or whatever. You know, if I want to sell a motor or something, or just start a motor up for the guys, and so it's nice for that. As far as ignition, there's two ways to go. You got your original coil ignition and the battery. So I got a battery mounted down here. And you got your coil up here, on off switch. And you got your wire that goes to your points. And that's how you fire it up. Now, speaking of firing it up, of course, now you have all these lines. This is your gas line. You gotta have a shut off. And over here is your oil line. I put this little inline filter on it. There's your shut off. Of course, this goes to your feed pump. Now, where was it? Firing up. And then we made exhaust. This is 1.5 inch stainless steel. This is the motor. I use this to, I make 4-bolt top motor mounts with this. We made the exhaust out of 1.5 inch stainless, and we bolt the motor down when we're ready to test, and bolt it four places on the bottom. And then once we got everything hooked up, I bleed the oil lines, bleed the gas, make sure we got oil, gas is ready to go, wires are hooked up. Now, if we have a magneto, of course, we don't have to bother with any of this. A lot of my motors have magnetos. You don't have to bother with that, but it's there if you need it, which is nice. Starting, I'm going to let you show this, Rachel. This is your toy. Okay, so on the motor, on the sprocket shaft, we put the starter nut, what's called a starter nut, and it's sold by Enfield Racing. This locks on to the sprocket shaft. Okay, and then we got our starter. This is our starter girl here. She works this thing pretty good. She starts my race bike with it. And of course your starter nut's going to be here, like so. Starter nut's going to be there, and she's going to bring the starter in. Okay, hit the button. Show them what it does. Okay. And that will spin that motor over so it starts. It usually starts right up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the motor stand. If you have any questions, shoot us a question. It's just simple. I mean, there's all kind of different ways to do it. It just works good for me. So